Vows are often promises that we make to each other, but I want to start with things I'll remember and not forget as we grow old together. Sorry. Yep.
A marriage makes of two fractional halves a whole. And it gives two purposeless lives a work. And doubles the strength of each to perform it. It gives to two questioning natures a reason for living and something to live for.
Our beautiful daughter, like all her siblings, was destined for success in all her endeavours. She has a kind, loving nature, matched by a fierce intelligence and a capacity for independent thought. She's excelled academically, both at school and at UCL. Linguistically, she speaks fair Mandarin, and occasionally her English isn't too bad either, actually. And she's also excelled in her chosen career. Her list of achievements and successes is long. She's scuba dived in Borneo, cared for orphan lion cubs in Africa, run a marathon in a heat wave, rescued a stricken friend from Croatia, skied into a brick wall in Austria. Oh, actually, that one wasn't such a success, actually, but Louisa, we could not be more proud of you.
It will give a new gladness to the sunshine, a new fragrance to the flowers, a new beauty to the earth, and a new mystery to life.
Life can make love look hard, but when it's the right person, it should be easy. No matter what life has thrown at us over the past few years, the one constant has been coming home to you. You make everything easy. You've made me a gentler, kinder, and more relaxed person, which has been no mean feat, I know. Choosing to love you is the easiest part of every day, and I promise to keep making that choice. I promise to try every day to build you up as much as you build me up.
Love is to join and separate, to walk alone and together, to find a laughing freedom that lonely isolation does not permit. It is finally to be able to be who we really are, no longer clinging in childish dependency, no docilely living separate lives in silence. It is to be perfectly oneself and perfectly joined in permanent commitment.
I said before, and as cliched as it is, I do remember Jenny not being able to stop smiling after coming home from our first date. I remember unlocking the door to our first apartment together and thinking how big it was for just us two. I remember nothing from my speech when I asked you to marry me, because all I could think about was how lucky I was to get to ask you to be my wife.
I cannot promise never to be angry. I cannot promise always to be kind. You know what you are taking on, my darling. It's only at the start that love is blind. And yet, I'm still the one you want to be with. And you're the one for me. Of that I'm sure. You are my closest friend, my favourite person, the lover and the home I've waited for. I cannot promise that I will deserve you from this day on. I hope to pass that test. I love you and I want to make you happy. I promise I will do my very best.
I said in my vows that it was always going to be about this moment from around 30 minutes into the first date. I knew I was going to marry you. When you write a speech like this, a million memories come to mind and stories you want to tell and things that you want to say about her. Every moment, really. Going for dinner, but also you coming up the stairs and seeing you round a corner, or whatever it would be, is really spectacular for me. It really is. It's a complete privilege. The feeling of getting to know you more and more as we go through our lives. I always say when we go on dates, I'm excited to get to know you again and to find out more about you, because it is exciting, because she's an exciting person to be around, and it's a privilege to know her. It really is. Hearing the stories from everyone today has been incredible. I love you very much. To my wife.
So my first real understanding of Louisa came in the form of a text message, as you've heard. So James had met Louisa for the first date, and unnervingly quickly I got a message saying that he'd found the one. Obviously I didn't believe that at all. And so when I entered my first meeting with Louisa a few weeks later, I entered it with great scepticism. And at this point, a second unnerving sign occurred. Whilst in a crowded pub, I was taken aback by the number of times she and James would rub noses and giggle mid-conversation. This was surely a wind-up. However, it did dawn on me very quickly that James had met someone different. In fact, he had met someone not only was the perfect match to him, but would better him, and most importantly, not take any of his shit. Louisa, you do undoubtedly look beautiful tonight. You have the strength and intelligence to keep him on the straight and narrow. And furthermore, I describe you as a staunch feminist who's certainly not afraid to stand up on what you believe in.
Louisa and James, you have declared your love in front of your family and friends. You have committed yourselves to each other freely and with great love and affection. From now on, you have a moment in time and a point of reference to look back on. But don't stop there. Take with you the love, respect and tenderness of today into the rest of your lives. Always take time to just be yourselves with each other and for each other. Remember to always focus on what is right in your relationship and build on that. And when the tough times come, when the laughter is thin on the ground and the storm clouds have blocked out the sun, then you can ride out any storms because of your strength together and your support for each other. If each of you takes responsibility for the quality of your life together, it will be marked forever by loving, generosity, warmth and good humour. So it gives me great pleasure to confirm them as husband and wife. You may kiss each other.
To my husband, I can't really summarise how I feel about you. The closest I can get, and again, I swear there is a point to this, is to quote or paraphrase T.S. Eliot, who once said that the greatest poetry is that which elevates the everyday, and it is the purpose of poetry to take what is mundane and make it extraordinary. I think that's the purpose of love too, and that's what you do to me every day. You elevate what is mundane and ordinary and make it extraordinary and exciting. And to that end is a poem that I love that summarises that rather well, I think, called The Orange by Wendy Cope. At lunchtime, I bought a huge orange. The size of it made us all laugh. I peeled it and shared it with Robert and Dave. They got quarters and I had a half. And that orange, it made me so happy, as ordinary things often do. Just lately, the shopping, a walk in the park, this is peace and contentment, it's new. The rest of the day was quite easy. I did all the jobs on my list and enjoyed them and had some time over. I love you, I'm glad I exist.
James, thank you for being the most hilarious person I know. It's been an honour being your best man, and it fills me with joy to seeing you so genuinely happy. Louisa, thank you for taking James, your legal responsibility for James. I'll be still around to annoy you, but you are in charge now. It's been a wonderful day. Thank you to both families for putting on such a show. So therefore, I would like to make a toast to the newlyweds. I hope your journey is as adventurous as James's early attempts at swimming and as harmonious as the teabaggers. So please raise a glass to James and Louisa.